Thank you, Mr. President of the General Assembly, for your very kind words. As I understand, you are the boss of many here in the room who by their presence honor us. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Mimbrëma të gjithë bashkëdhetarëve, joining the Security Council is an event of historic importance for Albania. It marks yet another critical stepstone in our transformational drive to fulfill our aspirations as a nation and contribute to making the world a better place for us and for all. Let me start by going off script and say it bluntly against the ambassador and everyone else's advice. If for anything else, but for such gathering like this one, where so many friends and distinguished guests are present to share this moment with us, I guess the Security Council's seat is worth. Thank you for being here. Only a wild imagination would have had the bravery to dream all this just 3 decades ago. And I even doubt that no wild imagination could have had the bravery to dream all this. At that time, Albania was a bunker in darkness. For almost half a century, it crawled under one of the most oppressive communist regimes in Europe, which made our country be, I need to say it, the North Korea of Europe. The dictatorship came crumbling because of the people's appeal to what human nature has as its inherent exigence: freedom, equality, democracy, and the rule of law. Many times the wheels of history move in odd directions. For us, Albanians, the awakening came rather late, but we kept our sight on the appealing light and have since moved in one single direction, that of freedom, democracy, human rights, dignity, development, and reform. Seeking our deserved place in the region and Europe has remained our compass ever since, even in the most difficult moments in our long and difficult road towards a democratic society, to the family we seek to join, the European family where we belong. The world has changed and transformed during the last 66 years, since the day we entered the United Nations. Many countries and societies have seen their life change profoundly, but I can say without doubt that Albania's transformation is one of the most remarkable and the most impactful. To the point that I tend to agree with friends who tell us that in course of the last 3 decades, Albania has transformed more than during the last 3 centuries. This is our record, one we are proud of, one we only seek to further improve. Nowadays, we notice that the values we used to take for granted as aspirations to attain have been put into doubts. But for us who have survived through dark times, these are doubts we do not harbor, because we know what the alternative to such values is. We have placed international law and human rights at the heart of our agenda for our mandate in the Security Council. We see them as priorities in the world's most powerful body. I don't know how many in this room or outside would agree or disagree with me that wherever human rights are observed, wherever women are respected and empowered, wherever the needs of the citizens are placed first, there is sustainable development and genuine progress. For us, human rights are at the heart of the critical issues of peace and security. The recognition of the universality of rights asks for a clever balance between conflicting principles: sovereignty of nations, which we must respect, and human rights defense, which we must abide by.